Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We're still discussing this verse here. Ud'u rabbakum tadarru'a wa khufya. That call out to your Lord, humility and quietly. And we were giving you all the advantages of making a soft dua. We told you it is more humility, and we done that in quite a bit of detail. Quite a bit of detail. And even if we take ud'u here to mean to make zikr, then zikr also it is better to make it softly, right? And at the end of the verse, he said, Inna Allah sa'ud'u rabbakum tadarru'a khufya innahu la yuhibbul mu'tadin. Is the last part. He does not like those who cross the limits. The word mu'tadin, i'tada ya'tadi. From ada, ada, ain, dal, ya. And you put on the ifta'ala, i'tada ya'tadi, mu'tadin. And then you make it jama, then the ya or ya noon comes back, right? Jama muzakkar salim mu'tadin. The word mu'tadin is a derivation from i'tada, which means to cross the limits. It says Allah does not. So what is the relevance of bringing it? Why does Allah say Inna Allah la yuhibbul mu'tadin? It says Allah does not like those who cross the limits exactly as is given in translation. In other words, whatever the limits Sharia has set out, this is halal, this is haram, this is how you must make dua, you must be loud, you must be soft. That is how Allah Ta'ala likes it. The crossing of limits, whether in dua or any other activity, has the same outcome. That Allah Ta'ala does not like that. In fact, if looked at closely, the religion of Islam is the very name of observing limits and restrictions. So if you look at Islam, the whole religion of Islam is about a set code of rules, a set code of do's and don'ts. If you do the do's and you don't do the don'ts, you will be successful. But if you, like how, you go to a madrasa, you go to a school, you go to a university, you go to a workplace, there are things that is required for you, you must do that. There are things that you are required to abstain from. And when you follow the rules, you will be successful, you will progress, right? Same thing. In Islam, we have that, what did Hadith say? Goes like this, yeah? لكل ملك حما وحمى الله محارمه. لكل ملك حما وحمى الله محارمه. That every king has his royal pastures where he grazes the royal horses, right? So wahim Allah, so if you go to graze your animal in the royal pastures, you will get into big trouble. You get on the wrong side of the king. And the royal pastures of Allah Ta'ala are those things which He made haram, He prohibited things. So you want to engage in the prohibited things, you're going to get yourself in big trouble. You're going to get yourself in big trouble in the dunya and in the akhirat. So that's what Allah Ta'ala is saying. Then there are laws. You should not be, as far as possible, you should not transgress. In fact, if you look at closely, the religion of Islam is the very name of observing limits and restrictions and electing to submit and obey. Take the example of Salah, Sawm, Hajj, Zakat, and all dealings and transactions. When limits set by the Sharia of Islam are crossed in them, they not remain acts of worship anymore. So even when you are your own ibadat there, you should not transgress the limits. You should not come with your own things. They also observe the limits. Crossing the limits in dua may take several forms. Firstly, that literal formalities such as rhyming and other stylistic devices are employed in dua, which may spoil its essential ingredients. So what is saying here, crossing the limits in dua is to have too much takalluf, formalities. A dua is supposed to be a heartfelt, impassioned plea. Secondly, that unnecessary restrictions are also introduced in dua, as it appears in the hadith that Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Mughaffal saw that his son was making dua, and the following was, "Oh Allah, I seek from you the palace in paradise, which is white in color and located on the right-hand side." He stopped him and said, making such restrictions in dua is crossing the limits, which has been prohibited in the Quran and Hadith. So this particular Sahabi son was saying, Allah, I want a house, a white palace on the right side of Jannah. So the Sahabi said, no, this is what Allah does. Inna Allah la yuhibbul mu'tadin. This is being petty and it is crossing the limits, right? The third form of crossing the limits is if someone makes a dua wishing ill of the Muslims in general or asking from Allah something which is harmful for them. So to make dua against somebody, if somebody is doing something wrong, you make dua to guide that person, Allah Ta'ala bring that person on the straight path. But to make dua that Allah Ta'ala harms that person, that's also i'tida fi dua. What is that? Right. Similarly, it's also a form of crossing the limits, as mentioned here. That dua will be made in a raised voice without the need to also, yeah. And also it's mentioned that to make a loud dua unnecessary is not required. The asal is to make a soft dua. Okay, let's read the. Okay, so we still got وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا. That's also part of the text there. Okay, so the next part of the verse now says, read that, وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا, read part of the verse.
ولا تفسدوا وادعوه خوفا وطمعا إن رحمة الله قريب من المحسنين.
So وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا. Do not commit mischief on this earth بعد إصلاحها, after it has been corrected, after its rectification, after its reformation. وَادْعُوهُ, and call out to Allah خوفا, in fear and hope. الإيمان بين الخوف والرجاء, in fear and hope. إن رحمة الله قريب من المحسنين. Verily the mercy of Allah Ta'ala is close to the believers. So in the second verse, وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا, it has been said, وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا, and do no mischief on the earth after it has been set in order. Two antonyms have appeared. Antonyms means opposites, right? Right? Two antonyms have appeared here. Right? One is fasad and islah. Fasad means to make something bad, to corrupt it, and islah means to correct it. That's why when you speak about correcting yourself, correcting your nafs, you removing pride, jealousy, hatred, enmity, greed. You call it islahun nafs. What you call it? In other words, tazkiyatun nafs, to cleanse the internal. So islah means to correct something, to make it good, etc. So then, right, I tell you, so fasad refers to corrupt something. So then fasad refers to a state of evil, corruption, mischief, disorder. Imam Raghib al-Isfahani said in his Mufradat al-Quran that fasad refers to something going beyond the limits of moderation. Also, when you do something beyond moderation, anything, even like I said in English, too much of a good thing is also not good. Like, even maybe sometimes healthy food is good for your body. But if you consume too much, what will happen? It will have an effect. To laugh, to joke, to enjoy sometimes is good. But if you're laughing and joking all the time and you're not doing any work, what will happen? So even a good thing done out of its required measurement, out of its required proportion, that is also facade. That's also facade, right? Whether the crossing over is insignificant or enormous, and the measure of increase or decrease in every facade depends on the crossing of the limits of moderation. The further the limits are crossed, facade will increase. So the more you cross the limits, the more you are being excessive in something, the more we will say what? That there's facade in this. So facade means to make things bad, and Islam means to correct or reform and put them in order. So that Allah says, وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا. Do not make things bad on earth after that Allah Ta'ala has made it good and proper. So Allah Ta'ala, He sent His Prophet, He's come with goodness, and He's brought you the true teaching, the true deen. So do not make things bad, do not adulterate things, do not contaminate things, do not make things bad again. Imam Rabi also, there are several forms in which Allah Ta'ala makes something right, correct, and proper. First, He began by creating them right, correct, and proper, as in وَأَصْلَحَ بَالَهُمْ, like you say, you will improve their condition, right? Secondly, remove the corruption that it entered into something as well. So one is, they give you the different meaning of Islam. What Islam means, from the very beginning, you make something right, proper, right? The second is this here, that after corruption had set in, you remove the corruption. So let's look at this context. From the beginning, when Adam alayhi salam came to the dunya, he came on pure fitrat. So that means he made correct the matter. But with the passage of time, people turned away from fitrat, made shirk. Then he sent a prophet. So, and this prophet came to correct what was wrong for a timing. So that is islah ma fasada. That's what I'm saying. Secondly, removed was the corruption that had entered into something. Like you say, yuslihullah a'malakum. Allah Ta'ala correct your deeds. Thirdly, that a command is given to put things in order. This verse carries a command of abstention from mischief on the earth, as has been set in order. So here, if you look at this verse here, which says that he used this one here, it says, where Allah Ta'ala gives a command that you must correct things after it has come. So what? This is the third type of Islah, that as it comes as an order for you, that after the corruption has set in, you must correct it. Here, the ordering of the earth may be taken in two senses. Firstly, the outward propriety that it was made arable and capable of growing trees with rains made to come from the clouds, resulting in the flowers and fruits as gifts from plants and trees, and that the earth was made the source of life and life support for human beings and animals. The second sense is that Allah Ta'ala set things right on the earth inwardly and spiritually. So when we speak وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا, it could have two meanings. One is physically the corruption of the earth. Physically, the earth was an arable place. It was a wholesome place. It was not polluted. It was not contaminated. So here we're speaking about the physical properties of the earth. The other one is we're speaking about the spiritual state of the earth, the spiritual condition. The second is Allah Ta'ala set things right on the earth inwardly and spiritually. So this وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا, as I told you, could refer to physical corruption, damaging the fauna, the flora, polluting it, etc., interfering with things unnecessary. And the second could refer to the spiritual condition. That Allah Ta'ala had sent Tawheed, He's brought Tawheed. The second sense is Allah Ta'ala had set things right on the earth inwardly and spiritually by sending His messages and books and instructions and purifying from shirk, kufr and shirk and error. It's quite possible that the verse means both inward and outward order in total way. Thus, the verse would now mean that Allah Ta'ala has put the earth in proper order, both physically and spiritually, and you should not create disorder or engineer even in this through your acts of sin and disobedience. So here the author is saying that, look, this verse could refer to both. Allah Ta'ala is exhorting us that firstly, that this earth it was created pure, clean, no pollution. So respect the earth, respect the fauna, respect the flora. Do not do things to the earth. Do not manufacture things. Do not do things which will harm the environment. So we take in the physical sense. And it could refer to the spiritual sense, that man has come down to the dunya with fitrat salima, with pure tawheed. It did not come down with the natural intent. كل مولود يولد الفطرة فأبواه يهودانه أو ينصرانه. That man has come down to the world with pure fitrah, oneness of Allah Ta'ala, not to make shirk, not to disobey Allah Ta'ala. So now you want to introduce all of these things, disobedience to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, committing shirk. So this is also referred to fasad fil ard. So remember, you said fasad could be two things: physical corruption, physical contamination, physical harm, or spiritual harm. Are you with me? So from this also you learn, many times people ask you, give us some verse of the Quran that shows us that we need to respect the environment, we need to respect the fauna, we need to respect the animals. So the approach of the Muslims is that Allah Ta'ala has created all of this for you. وَسَخَّرَ لَكُم مَا فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَا فِي الْأَرْضِ. Allah Ta'ala has subjugated, He's created whatever is in the earth for you to use, not to abuse. You can use it according to what you need it and not go beyond the bounds and abuse it. You understood? So what is order or disorder on the earth? So what is order or disorder on the earth? And have sins people, and what have sins people got to do? To say, so you must maintain order on this earth. What is order? And what has the sins of the people got to do with the order of the earth? The way there are two aspects of Islah, the outward and like for the physical and the spiritual. So we're telling you, one is like we speak about the physical aspects of the dunya, and once we speak about the spiritual, that is tawheed. So in the same way, there are two aspects of this order, fasad. As for the outward or physical order of the earth is concerned, that is to be right and proper. It will be realized that Allah has made it to be a mass or body which is neither liquid as water, making it difficult to step upon, nor is hard as rock or iron, which could not be dug up. It's been created to be in a middle state so that the human beings could make it soft and smooth, learning itself to be farmed and become capable of growing plants and trees and flowers and fruit. Then they could also dig it up to sink wells and make moats and canals, lay strong foundations for houses to live in, and then right in and out of the earth, create things and circumstances which could help habitate the earth, make vegetation, trees, flowers, and fruits to grow in, And then from the outside, he created wind, light, heat, and chill, and made water rain through the clouds always so the trees could grow, and brought in service with the stars and planets from where warm and cold rays were cast on them, which filled flowers and fruits with color and juice. Human beings went down with intelligence through which they dug out the raw materials from the earth, like iron, copper, wood, and so many other metals and rocks, which they harnessed into a new world full of industries and artifice. This is the outward ordering of the earth, which was brought into effect by the perfect power of Allah. Interesting. What he's saying is, like I told you, that do not cause corruption in the earth. It refers to the physical earth. The earth has been created perfect to sustain human life. That's what he's saying. The whole thing I read there. And he said, like I told you, if you look at the distance of the earth from the sun, it is not too far away that everything will freeze. It is not too close that everything will be burnt. It's the perfect distance. If you look at the earth, if the earth was very, very soft, how would we be able to travel on the earth? How would we be able to build our houses if the earth, everything would sink away? If the earth was very, very hard, how would we be able to grow things? You can't grow things in concrete, in rocks. How would we be able to mine out, the copper, etc., etc.? So the earth, Allah Ta'ala, in fact, there's a verse in the Quran also which says, Allah Ta'ala never make the earth very, very hard so that you can't extract the minerals from the ground. You can't plant trees. You can't plant your vegetation. And neither did make it so soft that you cannot travel. Imagine the whole earth was like water. You just step onto the earth, it was like quicksand, you sink away. So Allah Ta'ala, everything is in perfect harmony. The distance of the earth from the sun is perfect distance. If you look at the what you call it, the texture, or the viscosity of the earth, everything is in perfect harmony. Okay, time is up. We stop there. So we're not going to break the meeting. Today, inshallah, we're going to be starting the new chapter of Mishkat Sharif, Kitab al-Tahara. That will be all the hadith that discuss the importance of Tahara and what type of Tahara is necessary, for praying. Like if you got, if you need a Hadith Akbar, Hadith Asghar, with the ikhtilaf, that will be started now with the same link. So those who are interested, inshallah, in joining Mishkat Sharif, Kitab al-Tahara, the importance of bodily cleanliness, physical cleanliness, they can stick onto the same link. Rana Nazim will be doing that, inshallah. So you keep the same link, just turn off the speaker. When you're ready, you turn on the speaker. So those are interested in joining Kitab al-Tahara, Mishkat, inshallah, they can stick onto the same link, inshallah. Bas, subhanahu